All right, it's got something at the top here. This morning, I think you may have seen our note. Washington-based ambassadors and senior diplomatic representatives from the 68-member Global Coalition to Counter ISIL gathered at the Department of State to review the status of our global campaign to defeat this terrorist organization and discuss the next steps. Coalition members noted that a close coordination between the military, intelligence, law enforcement community, which has resulted in significant degradation to Daesh's global network. They also reviewed operations underway to liberate Mosul, Iraq, to isolate Raqqa, Syria, and were encouraged by the progress that has been made to date, while also maximizing the effort to protect civilian life. Coalition partners reviewed several key indicators that have been useful for measuring our progress in defeating Daesh's network, to include territory gained and lost, access to foreign terrorist fighters, access to revenue, access to borders, leadership attrition, media and propaganda output, and global cohesion. Thanks to the efforts from our global coalition, all of these indicators are now trending in a positive direction. I will refer to the media group, again, that we release for further details on each of these. We are, as we've said many times, making significant progress against this terrorist group, but we also acknowledge that this is going to be a long-term fight. It's going to require constant international cooperation and pressure and the application of maximum pressure needed to sustain the momentum achieved to date. At today's meeting, coalition members underscored our shared commitment to remain resolute and on the offense across all lines of effort until our mission is complete. And to remind, not all those lines of effort are military. Those are the ones that get the headlines. That's not the sum total of everything we're doing against Daesh. So with that, we'll start.
Thank you very much. Parallel to that, the other crisis in Syria, can you give us an update on the status of talks in Geneva with your multilateral partners on the Syrian civil war?
They still are ongoing. Our multilateral effort, the teams are still discussing ways to get at a framework for cessation of hostilities. I don't have a specific readout to give you, as we've sort of avoided doing that day by day, but the talks are ongoing. We wouldn't be there, we wouldn't be participating in them if we didn't think there was a reason to do so.
As they continue, a big chunk of former rebel members from the airport has fallen to the forces. Is that something you've brought up with the Russian partners in these talks?
We haven't missed an opportunity to continue to raise our deep concerns, indeed outrage at the continued bombing and siege of Europe, and we'll continue to do that in every form and every venue that we have available.
Understanding that Russia is active participants in this operation.
Well, again, I'm not going to get into an order of battle here, as I've said. What I will say, I've said before, is that Russia has considerable influence over this side. When they have shown in the past that they're willing to use that influence for a positive outcome, it makes a difference. And what we continue to assert is that Russia bears the ultimate responsibility here for what the Syria regime is doing and being permitted to do in terms of the devastating civilian casualties and destruction of civilian infrastructure, to include hospitals, in and around Aleppo. But in terms of whose aircraft is flying and all that, I don't have that kind of information. It wouldn't be appropriate for me to deliver from this podium in any event. But clearly, tactical aircraft continue to bomb neighborhoods in Aleppo. Clearly, they're still shelling. Hospitals now are all but shut down. I saw a statistic this morning that for the roughly 120,000 children that we estimate, the UN estimates, is in Aleppo, there's 2 pediatricians. Unfortunately, many of the casualties that are being suffered by children don't necessarily need pediatric care, but it just goes to the point that medical professionals increasingly are lost to take care of basic health necessities there in Aleppo. And I saw a quote from a resident of Aleppo that their concerns are now beyond just food and water. It's the slaughter. Slaughter was the word that this is what we use.
I don't have any more stories.
correct?
Yeah.
Syria?
Sure.
You're saying stop.
I didn't say that. I said, as resident of Aleppo, referred to the fact
Do you
that
believe statement that
we've talked about atrocities. We've talked about the utter disregard for civilian life. And yes, I think by any stretch, if you just look at what's been happening, innocent people are being slaughtered in Aleppo.
is there any way to have some sort of figures for those people, the ratio or the violence?
Saeed, you can go online and look at these reputable aid organizations that are keeping track as best they can. They'll tell you that literally thousands of people are being affected, killed, wounded, and infected on any given day.
Now, considering the fact that there's a portion of the electorate that are larger people that are under government control, about 1.5 million people that were, five killed and 70 million and so on. Wouldn't it be better once the government forces get control over these people that they can provide the kind of services that
Government forces?
Yeah. Syrian government forces.
Syrian government forces providing services to the people of Aleppo.
Are they not doing that in much of the
The only thing that I've seen the Syrian government prove willing to do in Aleppo is kill innocent people, destroy infrastructure, and try to reduce the city to rubble. I'm not aware. And look, I'm not on the ground. But I'm not aware that they're bringing in baskets of food and water and restoring electricity and trying to bring life back to normal in Aleppo. I've seen absolutely zero evidence, and I don't think you have either.
Have you gathered or have you been able to gather any kind of information on how things are doing or what is the situation in the government?
I don't.
Schools and hospitals?
I'm not capable of breaking it down by neighborhood here. Again, every bit of information we get from a lot of different places continues to tell a story of a city under siege, a dwindling population that is increasingly being killed by its own government with the support of backers of that government, to include Russia. And again, you don't have to look any further than going online or looking at television coverage to see what's going on here. And it's been going on steadily now, day after day after day.
There was all kinds of announcements and so on saying that the secretary is doing, running against the clock to bring about some sort of a move to the city. Could you share with us some of that? Could you tell us about that?
Well, what I can tell you is that the secretary continues to try to find a political solution to the conflict in Syria, which has to begin with a cessation of hostilities. It has to be accompanied by humanitarian aid, and he's doing that with the same sense of urgency that he has been doing since he's been in office. And yes, of course, Saeed, he's mindful of the calendar. And he's mindful of the fact that new administration will be coming into office here at the end of January. But to suggest that he's running out the clock, or that there's some sort of frantic or frenetic, last-ditch efforts here in the remaining weeks as he has in office, it just simply doesn't comport with the facts. The secretary has always had a sense of urgency about trying to solve the conflict in Syria through a political solution. And since Aleppo has come under siege now for the last several months, it has always been something on his mind. It has always been something that he has raised with Foreign Minister Lavrov and with other foreign ministers of involved nations and with the ISSG. And this is, I can assure you that the pressure he's applying, that the effort that he's expending is at the same level as it has always been, and that is pretty much full tilt. Yeah. So a couple things things on your question. First of all, this reporting out of Moscow that there's been some sort of flurry of phone activity is just not true. The last conversation that he had with Foreign Minister Lavrov was on Tuesday, and we pretty much, the Russians read them out almost immediately after we're done, and then we confirm them. And I think if you go back and you can look, there's been a consistent level of communication. But this idea that that the public has little idea about what the conversations include, because the Russian side reads them out almost instantaneously as soon as the conversations are over, and then we come and we background you, we'll actually provide the context from our perspective. So I think to both the foreign minister's credit and Secretary Kerry's credit, we've been pretty open about when they speak and what in general they speak about. So I don't think it's been, there's been no effort to sort of hide that conversation. The third point that I'd make to your question is that they had, before we went to a multilateral format, certainly there were bilateral discussions of a very serious, concerted nature with the Russians to try to get to a cessation of hostilities. That failed because the Russians didn't prove willing to meet their commitments. So we went to a multilateral format, which includes Russia. So, of course, the Secretary is going to continue to have conversations with Foreign Minister Lavrov in the context of those multilateral discussions, and that will continue. So, to more specifically answer your question about what the Secretary has proposed, I'm not going to get into the specifics. Those talks in Geneva are ongoing. I haven't yet, and I'm not going to start sort of reading out the eaches of every day. But I can tell you that we wouldn't still be involved in this effort, we the United States, if we didn't think it was worth it, if we didn't think that we could potentially get to a meaningful cessation of hostilities that could be sustained. The details of how that would be implemented, again, I think we need to let the discussions continue before we can lay that out. What I can tell you from the U.S. team's side, we're going to continue to try to establish a framework by which cessation of hostilities can actually be put in place, maintained, and enforced. So that, well, what we really want one that is enduring across the country. Right now, the focus is very specifically on Aleppo, I think, for good reason. But eventually, we'd like to get one that's nationwide. The multilateral efforts that are being the multilateral discussions in Geneva are more specifically focused on Aleppo right now. Right now in Aleppo, yes, but they're done in the context of an effort, an honest effort, to try to get everybody around the country into more enduring. But right now, of course, everybody's focused on Aleppo.
The Secretary Kerry's focused on the humanitarian situation, therefore is also focusing on how to secure the Syrian
His focus is on getting a cessation of hostilities in place, specifically in Aleppo, so that humanitarian aid can get in, none of it has, and so that we can restore the kind of conditions that are conducive to a resumption of political talks between the opposition and the regime, and that's what his focus is. No, I just said his focus is on getting a cessation of hostilities, to get the violence to stop. And without question, the vast majority of violence is being perpetrated by the regime, with its support from backers like Russia. We want to get that violence to stop. We want to get aid in so that we can get a resumption.
So
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So
I'll give you one more.
Washington Post, they cited in one main position, which said that they're in a range of being discussed for the opposition to separate from all these fighters from
No, I'm not going to speak to the claims of the anonymous officials. I will tell you that the Russian side has made very clear their concerns about separation from Nusra from other opposition groups. And frankly, we have talked a lot about the need to do that as well. That is a difficult thing. We've talked about that for many months, this marbleization, if you will, of the marbling of opposition groups without Nusra. We've been very clear with the opposition groups that we have been communication with, and some of our partners are in communication with, about the importance of not being co-located with al-Nusra, not participating in al-Nusra operations because they are outside the cessation of hostilities. But I'm not going to get into a readout of the details that we have to discuss.
Over the weekend, the Iraqi parliament passed a law making the Hashd al-Shaabi part of the official Iraqi armed forces. What's your view on this? Are you concerned it will increase Iranian influence in Baghdad?
Well, look, let me just talk about a couple of things in here. We think that the passage of this law, like all internal legislation, is an internal Iraqi matter, so I'm going to refer you to the government of Iraq for details on that. That said, the United States continues to support a sovereign, inclusive, unified, and democratic Iraq that serves the aspirations of all Iraqis. And we continue to support Prime Minister Obama as he controls, commands, and organizes the campaign to go after Daesh inside the country.
Well, there's concern that's been expressed by both Kurdish and Sunni Arab politicians that the Hashd al-Shaabi will be used as a military force outside of Iraq. Anybody concerned about that?
Well, I think, as I said, we've been clear that we want all forces fighting Daesh in Iraq, all indigenous forces, to be under the command and control of the Iraqi government, Prime Minister Obama. We support his efforts to do that. This proposed legislation is certainly in keeping with what Prime Minister Obama has said is important to him, which is having command and control over all the forces that are fighting Daesh inside the country. So I think, again, I'm not going to speculate about hypothetical outcomes here, except to say that we continue to support a sovereign Iraq that has the resources, the organizational capabilities, and the support of the international community to do so in a sovereign way. Now, I didn't answer your question about Iran. And what I would tell you, though, is that we agree with Prime Minister Abadi's statements on the importance of ensuring that all participants in the fight against Daesh in Iraq are regulated under the control of the Iraqi government and held to the same accountability standards. We're concerned, for our part, with helping Iraq rid the country of Daesh. And as you know, just last week, there were scores of innocent civilians that are arrested. So the only other thing I'd say is, and we've said this before, that to the degree anybody is going to assist in the efforts to go after Daesh inside Iraq, not talking about outside Iraq, we want that to be done in a way that doesn't further inflame sectarian tensions.